it's MK. What I've got here is my the sketch kit. It's not really a kit, it's just a few things that I pulled to put together. I wanted to go over them really quickly. So I have a few pages here from, not even full pages. I have a few bits and pieces, so 2 full pages and a bit from a Stampin' Up! Paper pack. And I'm saying that because I have no clue which one it is. Let me check real quick. Forever Greenery is what this is called. And the photos that I'm going to be using, I've been using this collection. That's why I have a little bit left. So I've been using this collection just for this set of photos that I have, which I have one more layout to do. And then I have some Close to My Heart cardstock. I have white, and then I know this is Peacock, and I can't tell you what this one is, like espresso or something. Anyways, yeah, that is what I plan on doing. And then I have my photos already cut. See, you guys, I'm discombobulated. Like, I have no clue what I'm doing. I have my photos already cut, a few embellishments that I have picked out for this particular layout. A little bit from, I don't know, I think this is Rosie, and then Pink Fresh, some puffies from Pink Fresh. These 2 pieces are Kaiser Craft, and then I have no idea. I think this is also from Pink Fresh. I don't know, you guys. And then these are the elements that I have been using, again, with these photos from the Biopark in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then also I pulled out this frame that was gifted to me by the State Goddess. So I have that. I've picked out some washi tape that I thought matched pretty good to this gold. I don't know about you guys though, gold is hard to match. Like, different golds are very hard to match up, and so it's, I don't know, I have a thing about that. I know. Just get over it. And then, of course, I picked out a glitter because there was glitter on here. And my thing is what you do on this page, it kind of has to be over on this page. Even if it's just a little tab hanging out, it's still represented. I also have the same alphas that I've been using. So I have the large alphas from American Crafts, and they are called Cedar. And then I also have the small, these large ones they're kind of like wood grain on foam, and then these ones are wood grain that are small on like a peachy foam from Pink Fresh again and again. And then I have my my gold tile stickers that I just picked up at Joann's. It came with silver gold and like a rose gold. So I have all of that. Let me show you the sketch. That's kind of why I paused for a minute, because I was like, oh, I totally spaced the sketch for this month. Here is the sketch for this month, and the idea of this is, actually that says May. Oh, it's, I believe it's Page Maps. From May's Page Maps is what this one is from, because she told me this was July's. Don't do that to me. Anyways, the whole point of this is to take this 12 by 12 and either shrink it or grow it into a two-page layout, or smaller or bigger, or however that works. And I actually am going to stretch it into a 2-pager, because that is what I do. I almost shrunk it down to an 8 by 8, but I really am in the mood to finish scrapbooking these layouts. Like I said, I have one more set of these layouts and then I can be done. Actually, I have a set and a half, because I have like a introduction page. I don't know, a page that goes like this, or you know, that kind of like is on the back of the, anyways. Oh my god. I'm gonna quit talking. So, nothing is cut. I finally remembered to turn the layout on, or, yep, see what I mean? Just forget it. I should turn the camera off and start all over. I finally remembered to turn the camera on before I actually cut into my papers, but I did shrink my photos only because I wanted to see if this would work on, you know, to stretch it. And if it wouldn't, then I would have just reprinted the photos and, you know, did a different route. and picked something different and went with my original 8x8. So that was the deal of it, and I am going to get started. I picked this piece here. This one is going to be the photo mat that is going to go around the photos, and then the other pieces of paper, these pieces here, the polka dot and the fishies, and then it's a different kind of dot. It's a smaller dot. Those ones I'm going to outline because I'm using such dark papers. I'm actually going to border with white cardstock, and that is what my white cardstock is for, is because I'm going to give all of my papers a teeny tiny itty bitty little white border just like that. So yeah, you guys can't see it. Okay, well, it's going to be there. And the only reason why is because when I lay out all these photos and I put this stripe behind it all, it kind of pops out like a sore thumb because it has all this white and there's no white anywhere else. And so this is what inspired the white border all the way around. All right, stop talking, create a layout. Let's get going. I'm going to stretch this one. All right, here we go. All right, let's start by cutting up some paper. Now, I do have to say that I had a hard time not cutting up this paper before doing the introduction, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Now, I don't make you guys watch me cut all of this, but I did want to mention how I resketched the sketch so I could get a visual of how it's going to look completely stretched. And then for my photo mats, I really didn't know the sizes of my photos. I just chopped them and shrunk them where I wanted. And so basically I left the mat part of it. Good grief, I just knocked my camera. That was awesome. I knocked, now I'm all messed up. I left my photo mats, or what I wanted to use as a photo mat, it is 12 by 12. So that way I could just glue my pictures on and then chop them off kind of sort of where I wanted it to be. As soon as I had them all glued on. And then for this frame, I wanted it to be the exact same color as the photo mats instead of being black and gold. So I decided to take a scrap, which nothing that I had at my fingertips was big enough. It just kept showing. So I had to go into my stash and pull out a larger piece, and I'm going to use this Nuvo Deluxe glue to glue it all down. Yeah. And then close to my heart, cardstock is double-sided, and so I was just checking to see which side was light, and for some reason this cardstock did not have a different shade on the other side. So it must have been from way back in the day. So just using I think that's called a click pen or click blade. I don't know. I give up. Anyways, I'm going to use my finishing files to kind of just, well, basically what they're called, finish off the edges of this frame. And I'm not even going to bother cutting out the center of the cardstock from the frame because it's all going to get covered up. Why bother? I'll just leave it as is. And now I'm going to lay out the, oh no, I'm not. I'm going to put my pattern paper on. I left the white as an 1/8 inch border because I wanted to see what it looked like before I chopped it down even smaller. I'd rather put too much of a border on and trim it down than put too little and then have to recut. That's just the way that I think. So I'm going to lay it out really, really quickly. You guys get a glance at what it's going to look like. And of course, my OCD, I have to see exactly how it's going to look. I can't not just put it out, which is a good thing that I do this instead of trying to do it as I glue, because I actually found where I cut a piece too long right here. It was only supposed to be so long, and I found it doing this rather than as I was gluing. So yay. But I decided right off the bat, I do not like the thicker white border. So I'm going to go and trim all of those borders off. And hooray, I do not make you guys watch me do all of this at all either. But I did trim up that one piece because I had to before I forgot, because I would have. And so now I'm just basically putting the pieces back. So when I go to glue them together, then when I go to glue them together, I have all the right pieces on the right side.
So, and I decided to throw in this little circle because I wasn't sure if I needed to glue it down first before gluing all my pieces down. And then I decided to just get my pieces glued over. I went and I cut out this, excuse me, this circular bit for the title before I glued it all down. I went ahead and I glued down the right side because the left side is exactly the same. And I'm sorry if you can hear my puppy walking around. It's not my puppy. I'm actually babysitting cute little corgi. And sometimes she just can't sit still. So this is the second recording. The first one was just horrible, her clicking. Anyways, I'd rather talk about my puppy than me struggling over getting these pieces of paper tucked under. I mean, they're so tucked under so lightly. Hang on, baby. I can't let her out or she'll go wake up all the kids. And it's way too early in the morning for her to be going and waking up my children. But anyways, I didn't like how the pieces looked butted up next to each other. So I rather have them slightly tucked under. That was my whole deal on this thing. And I had a hard time. For some weird reason, I was struggling getting it tucked under just this one little bit. And for this piece, I decided to glue it together first because some of them, you know, like they were all tucked underneath each other instead of like at the top, it's just they were like butted up next to each other, where these ones are actually layered on top of each other. So, and I really struggle with this one. And for some reason, they don't end up matching the other side. They were off slightly. And so here I decided, you know, I'm trying to make the decision, do I line it up with the greenery, you know, the leafy print or the striped print? Which one do I do? And in the end, I end up going with the striped print because that is the solid line at the bottom that your eye would see the most rather than the prints in between. I know, long story for a short explanation that you are not going to see. Shh. Sorry. Now my big puppy wants out. I'm thinking that one of the children is awake and they can hear it, but I really want to get this voiceover done for like the third time. So now I'm just going and sorting through the pieces that I picked for my clusters, my embellishment clusters. I don't want to forget the washi, so I stuck it right where I don't forget it, which spoiler alert, I do end up forgetting it. I took the other half of my circle and put it onto the left-hand page. So that way it has an embellishment. It has an element on it as well. When you look at the sketch, the embellishments were, one on top of the other. And so I really didn't take into consideration what I was going to do on the left page. So I decided to take the other half of my circle and put it on the left page. And now I'm just divvying up the pieces that I picked out, the what are they called? The embellishment pieces. Who knows? I'm just trying to divvy them out, get little bits of pieces, how I want them. I have a huge glare on this one piece. I am so sorry. I didn't know how else to do it. I didn't know how else, to work around getting it done. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. Click, click, click. Yeah. So basically I have 3 different embellishment clusters. I have a large one and 2 fairly, like a medium one and a small one. And I'm just picking out the one, the pieces that I want to go within each one, setting them up, see how I like them. And then that way I can, not get distracted by everything else that I picked out. And then I decided to move the larger one because I felt like it was competing with the title over to the left-hand page. And then I can stretch it out just a little bit more as well. And so I really like how that looks. I like how it fits within that half of a circle, that green mirror cardstock circle. And then I put the medium one up on top, which I'm so much more happier. I'm glad that was my little hands of, yay, I like this a lot better. I decided to turn off my light to get rid of that glare, and that helped a lot. Doesn't help my eyes, but it helped you guys out a lot from having to, be blinded. And so, yeah, I'm just basically going to now glue my clusters down. I've got everything all figured out. I did decide that I was going to pop up portions of the cluster. For one, the puffies underneath. I don't like how they become bumpy if you don't pop them up. And then also too, because of the frame, one of the photos is popped up. And then of course on the title, they're on foam. So I just wanted a little bit more elements popped up slightly. Yeah, it's my story. It's my layout. That's how I wanted to do it. And then basically what wasn't glued down, I pick up and make sure that it's all glued down. So here's the little cluster on the left-hand page. It's kind of hard to see with the gold and things like that, but I really enjoy how it turned out. And then this, oh my gosh, here is almost a disaster. Luckily I didn't. Did you guys see that? So I put glue on that little gold piece, and luckily it did not land jelly side down. Luckily. Almost dropped it again. Yay. So it landed right on my photo, but luckily, like I said, it did not land with the glue down. It just landed. I'm just super excited that it didn't ruin anything. And I'm just poking everything, I'm gluing everything down that was not glued down by the larger pieces of the embellishments. I don't like to glue like every little bit down. I like some of, especially when it comes to leaves and things, I like some of them not glued down. That's just how I've always done it. And then I'm going to stick a small piece of washi underneath this upper cluster. And here's where I tried to add the glitter. And at first I was going to put it off to the side, off to the end, and it stuck out like a sore thumb. It wasn't attached to anything. Then I decided I wanted it to go all the way to this cluster here. So clearly it wasn't long enough. And now I'm making it longer, and I have extra little bits. And I really wanted to add more of that gold washi in all three clusters, and it just didn't look right. The shininess competed with the mirrored cardstock, and so yeah, it just did not work out in my favor. So, and I'm done. That's all that it is. I am so sorry for the puppies getting up and moving around and just all being the way it is. But please check out all the other girls. Their layouts are amazing. I'm so glad to be a part of this this Stretch Your Sketch. All their links will be attached below. And this was super fun. I cannot wait to come back and do it again. I hope you guys enjoyed my, discombobulated little voiceover, and I'll check you later. Thanks.